Hi everyone, I'm Rhonda from JOYjunktique, and today I'm so excited to share my next design team project for the Graphics Fairy premium membership website. So I created a very chunky cup of tea waterfall junk journal, and I just love all the layers that you can see just cascading down the side. And so I started off with a piece of cardboard that I covered with a toile-like fabric, and then I folded it to where the front cover was not quite as wide as the back so that it would have the waterfall effect. I wrapped it with this beautiful blue velvet ribbon, and I added a spoon just to add some interest on the front. I also wrapped it with a vintage collar. It allowed me to create pockets that I could add things to, and so that collar goes from the front cover all the way around into the inside of the back cover. So here you can see on the spine where I punched holes and added eyelets for the signature to attach from the inside with another piece of velvet ribbon, and then that little metal piece just adds some detail. And now you can see that beautiful collar and the pocket that it created. And inside the pocket I used a vintage receipt that a friend gave me, and it was really fragile. So I repaired it by putting a coat of Mod Podge on it and using a little piece of a tea bag to repair that corner. And then I have that really cute vintage photo there that looks like they're on their way to a tea party. So as you open it up, you can see where I used that velvet ribbon to attach the spine. It's just glued on the inside of the spine. The Posies in Porcelain kit is what I used, and you can see all the beautiful images there. I also used some from the Delft Blue ephemera kit, and the blues are just beautiful. So inside that little lace pocket there on the inside cover, I added a journaling card and a copy of one of my Godey's magazines. I have a small collection of those, so there will be several of those magazine pages throughout the journal. Opposite of that, I used a blue and white napkin that had a really pretty design, and I had embossed it, and then that next page is a receipt, and I just decoupaged it with some tissue paper, added some lace and some sari ribbon, and I love the handwriting on it in the blue. Folded over on the other side, it made a little tuck spot for this bookmark I made from a time card. You can also use that as a backing card when you're writing. Here's a piece of vellum that I added some heart lace to, and it's also tea-dyed. Here is a piece of line paper, and I just ran a little piece of yellow ribbon through the holes to make some tuck spots there and added a little ticket. This beautiful page, I used a teapot to make a tuck spot under and over, so that then I could fold over the recipe page that is on the next side that tucks into the pocket there. So it just folds over and tucks in the top of that little tuck spot there. Here is a piece of my lace coffee dyed paper, and I just used my little edge scissors to create that pretty design on the edge. On the next side, I just added an extra page that makes a little hidden journaling spot, and it tucks behind the little teacup at the bottom. And then these two pages I joined together so that I could put them into the signature, and made a little pocket at the bottom for another recipe. And I just love this blue, it's so pretty. And here's a little teacup that has little tickets from the kit. There's another piece of paper for journaling. This page I just added a paper ruffle and a teapot, and then a little piece of eyelet lace. And then I added this little bookmark that was also on the website of this beautiful lady, and she tucks into that pocket. The opposite side, I have a frame embossing die that I made this pocket from. Put another one of those magazine pages, and it was perfect because they're having a little tea party. On the side, I added that pretty trim, and then that beautiful teacup that I found on the website. Here's another journaling card tucked in a pocket, and then I just wrapped the ribbon a couple of times around to make this little loop. Here's a page from a catalog, and it had a beautiful silver tea set in it. This is a coffee dyed page that I made, and it made a little heart, almost looks like cookies. Then that piece of vellum looks like it came off of a cupcake, so I made a ruffle from it too. That label was on the website, and then I used one of my dies to cut out the little teapot at the bottom from that beautiful blue paper. On the opposite side of that lace page, I wanted to kind of hide the teapot there from the back side, so I put two little doilies overlapping to make a pocket for this cute little envelope that holds the tea bag tags. This page I just added a doily and a little teacup with some more tickets tucked in. And then on the edging there, I added a beautiful piece of yellow lace and some blue seam binding ribbon. And that's some handmade paper that's been embossed to reveal another hidden journaling spot. Here I have another piece of that napkin that I cut a frame from and tucked in this journaling card that also has a little piece of that blue velvet. Now this envelope I made by printing on cardstock and then folding it up and adding the blue ruffle. And on the inside there is a really sweet little lady's handkerchief, and that closes with Velcro. Here's another envelope I just took apart and covered with different designs. And then on the back side I have a little library card and a little teapot that makes a tuck. And then I have a little die that makes the cutest little teapots. So I used it with all the beautiful digitals and created a little teapot that folds up. And I also made a little tea bag from real tea bags that I covered with some more of that napkin. And inside the teacup you can see the little ruffle and the beautiful yellow rose, and it just makes the perfect spot for the tea bag to rest. And inside the tea bag I have an actual little tea bag I made from a piece of fabric that I filled with allspice. And it slips right back into that little pocket there, ready for a tea party. I attached this page with some dark blue lace, and then as you turn the page there's another added page for more journaling there. Here's a beautiful little scalloped piece of lace, and there's the other side of that coffee dyed paper that I just added a paper ruffle to. The other side of that catalog, I added a little piece of fabric scrunched up in the bottom with a beautiful piece of jewelry. Now on this side, I just added a little advertising card with this cute little envelope, and inside of it, I have more of those little tickets that can be used in the journal. I also added a little doily and a teapot to that page. And I made these little, almost like cameos with some of the little floral tags, and I just backed them with a die cut that turned out really pretty. And that opens up to where you can add whatever you want inside. And I put that all onto an embossed piece of paper. The back side I just used a scrap piece to make a belly band and added the yellow roses. And then I have this die cut that made this beautiful little clock doily. This page I folded up to create a spot for this little mini journal, and I just kept it closed with this little clip that has a little tea tag on it that says "You're my cup of tea" from a stamp that I have. I also added a little crystal from a chandelier. This was the ceiling tile that is colored blue, and I just kind of aged and distressed it a little bit with my wax. Added some yellow paper inside, and it makes a very cute little notebook. And then that just clips to hold it all in there. There's a little fold out piece of notebook paper. And here was a doily that, I have a box of these doilies that have napkins inside. So I just removed the napkin and put another one of those little cameo-like ovals. And then I made this beautiful tag that I backed with another digital. And then I made a little pocket at the bottom with that beautiful lace, and then added this little tag of this lady and put a little piece of jewelry that I sewed on there. Added a yellow rose at the top and a little piece of linen rag strip. And so that all just slips into that little tuck. This is a fold over. So I made it with a dictionary page and a tea bag. And there's little tuck spots for ephemera on the outside. Also a little hidden pocket there with a tea bag, and then another tuck spot on the inside. That just made a cute little fold over. This beautiful page, I just love this blue, and I folded the page over, added some lace, and added the little teacup digital there that I fussy cut. And then on the inside, I have this tea party invitation that I got off the website, and then an original piece of ephemera. And that all just tucks back in there. These digitals are so pretty. And I'll list any kits that I used that can be found at the bottom of the post. So on the back side of that, I added this little stack of teacups. Then I used this little rhinestone bobby pin to attach this magazine page. And it just folds over the top. And then I used the little tea bag tag there as a little tab on that page. So here's the other side of that vellum. And I added that little teacup tuck at the bottom with this beautiful white lace doily. And this is just a little notepad. This side shows the beautiful digitals and the rose journaling card, all tucked into a doily with the beautiful blue velvet ribbon at the top. And then as you flip it over, I had a stamp that said just a note, and I found this lined paper on the website as well. That'll just tuck into that belly band. And I also love the handwriting on that page. So the other side of that shows more of the decoupage with the tissue paper and the lace, and also a little piece of gold glittered tulle. And there's the other side of that napkin. And then there you can see where the collar folds over. And I just added a little button that can close it and keep it all together. But you can also unbutton that to get in and out of those pockets. And then in this little envelope that tucks at the bottom, I have some little stamps that I just cut from different pieces of the kit. And that just slips into that beautiful blue lace pocket there. And then I also have another magazine page that was just perfect because it talks about teapots. And that just slips down into that pocket too. And then there on the back, I used a digital from the website and lined it with an old newspaper page, added an eyelet, and tied it up with this beautiful seam binding ribbon. And there you can see more of that fabric too. And that just tucks back on the back side of the journal. So I had so much fun creating this journal. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you were inspired. And just be sure and go see all those beautiful kits and check out all the other resources on the website. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch my video, and I will see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.